Hey guys, Hunter here. How's it going? So in this video, I am going to be talking about the strategy that we're going to have and what the whole point of all this is. Why are we taking tiles? Why are we just subjecting ourselves to this madness right now? Why are we trying to place our buildings around AC1 in a certain way? Why? What's the whole point of it all? I mean, you know. So let's take a look. Reign of Chaos season. We are in the second day. The first week of Reign of Chaos is prep. Prep. They give us a week. It's not a lot of time. It might be too much time. I don't know. But as you can see, all the alliances are in a ranking, and we're getting season scores. And you do get points for little things like taking tiles, upgrading buildings, stuff like that. But it's not how anyone's gonna win the season. We're just not gonna press buttons and just upgrade and spend money for the hell of it. We want to fight. This is a war game. We're gonna fight. So let's take a look at what's gonna happen. So we all know, hopefully by now, that you cannot teleport on top of tiles. And you cannot take tiles that aren't occupied. You can't take a tile unless you have an alliance tile next to it. Well, if we go to our AC1, what's going to happen is we are going to start fighting other alliances, and the goal is to score points, and the absolute goal is to destroy all 4 of the enemy alliance centers. How do you destroy an alliance center? By attacking it. How can you attack an enemy alliance center? By having one of your tiles next to it. Well, when you think about that, now maybe the rings of defensive buildings might make a hair bit more sense. There is more than just that they give spacing and they're obstacles and they take multiple hits to destroy, and that we can garrison them and defend them. But there is also, if you're the attacker, there's 5 minutes that your tile is protected. You've probably seen that after you take a tile. For the first 5 minutes, it can't be abandoned, and it also can't be taken by an enemy. This tile that I took at the beginning of the video still has 3 minutes and 50 seconds left on it. That's another element in the attack and defense of an alliance center where these rings come into play. Because once you get a tile, let's say past this row of buildings, you have a tile that is sovereign space for 5 minutes where you can attack buildings that are touching that tile and continue trying to advance towards the alliance center. The other thing that we're going to be starting tonight and tomorrow is defensive tiling. It is very easy if the enemy can start right next to your alliance center. What happens is during the duel, there's a rally point, and that takes up a 3x3 area of tiles. Once that's placed, that is like having a tile in the enemy state, and you can tile from it. But what we're going to do is we're going to use all of our farm accounts to make a giant web of tiles between the alliance centers. So if we zoom out on the map, ideally, the enemy won't be able to place a rally point or have room to place castles for well over 100 kilometers away from our alliance center. Unfortunately, our enemies are going to do the same thing, and we're going to have to make roads and open up holes and do other things that are going to be covered more in depth towards the end of the week to try and get castles close so that we have less of a marching time and so that we can win the duel, and that's how we're going to fight. And the reason why AC1 is so heavily defended and AC2 and 3 and 4 are just a jumble of buildings is because the rally point can only be placed in this outer zone, this sandy desert looking zone. And we placed our alliance center 2 purposefully as far away as we could from that sandy zone. The second option that an enemy could do would be to place a rally point on the border of the sand and the green and try to make a road to our alliance center 2. If they did that, we would block them and disrupt that road to ideally prevent them from even getting close to our alliance center. Let's take a look real quick at some of the other states and how we might try to attack them or exploit their current setup. So 835 is looks like it's going to be some of our best competition. They have 2 alliances in the top 3, and that's just it's a sign they have a lot of experienced players, and they're also going to be preparing their less experienced players very well. I just guessed 22-22 is one of the corner positions on the map, and it's very common. But I can just tell right away because of this structure, this is not one of their top 2 alliances. Let's see, this is CNX. CNX is nowhere near the top. We can only, oh, here they are at number 20. We can only pick people within 6 rankings of us, so they would not be a possible target. Let's try the south side. That's 1180 for a quick reference. The top is very popular because it's only 2 or 3 digit numbers, and the bottom it's always 4 digit numbers. But here we found them. So look, they have the same structure as us. It's a tried and true structure, and they haven't done a ton of defensive tiling either. But same here, they're buffer alliances around the corner. This RIS and IRP are their 2 top alliances, which we would have to fight. So ideally, we would want to pick this one, because if we zoom it on the map a little bit, I can basically guarantee that we're not going to be able to get a rally point closer than this RUS Alliance Center. They're gonna have this whole area covered with tiles, and we're gonna have to start out here with a rally point and work our way closer. So we'll look for the closest 3x3 square, place the rally point down, and that's when the attack team starts road building. Road building is a little tedious. It's not the most fun, but they're gonna be trying to intercept us. They're gonna try and take tiles before our marches get there, or block us with farms, and a whole bunch of things. And after the duel's over, ideally we'll have destroyed this alliance center, because once you destroy an alliance center, a second rally point is unlocked that can be placed anywhere in the light green zone. So we would then go to attack their alliance center 2, and then 3 and 4, and if we take out all 4, we automatically win. We don't have to wait for the timer to be over. But the other benefit is, no matter what, after the duel, we're going to be trying to get tiles in their state. I don't know if you guys noticed yet, but here on the left, where it says 57 out of 60 is how many tiles I have in state. This 0 of 60 is the amount of territories that can be occupied in other provinces. And that's a big thing. We want to get tiles in other states as soon as we can, because once we have tiles in states, we don't have to rely strictly on a rally point going after a heavily defended AC1. If we place a rally point after the duel over here on the map, and we start spreading out into this area over here, they're going to have to focus on cleaning our tiles. Otherwise, we're going to spread through their map and have a much easier access going after one of their Alliance Center AC2s. I don't have them bookmarked on the map, so I don't know where they are, but I'm sure you guys might be able to understand the benefit of something like that. I see purple tiles. There must be an Alliance Center soon. Yeah, here we are. Who's this? TRP. So here's one of their AC2s. So you could see the benefit of having tiles in this area. If we were to fight that alliance, we could just go directly for their AC2 and bypass the heavy defense that every AC1 is going to have. The other thing we're going to be able to do is, after the prep week is over, we're going to be able to teleport to any one of the states during the week. We will have strategic reasons to go there, but it's also a fun part of the game, because like we've been trapped in our own state up until now, except for the few kill events. But it's going to be nice. We're going to get to meet a lot of players. We're going to have some friends, some enemies. It's going to be a whole deal. So that's just a little bit about how the battles overall are going to work, and why we are putting a lot of effort into our Alliance Center 1. And why we're definitely going to need, even if you don't have the time to do a defensive tile with your farms, if you give the logins to one of the R4s, some of us have committed that we will do tiling with other players' accounts, because the web around AC1 is extremely important. We need to make sure that there's no possibility for enemy castles to teleport close to our Alliance Center. And so we are going to ask for that starting in the next day or two. Once again, I hope this video is very helpful. If you're watching this and you have a question, you can leave a YouTube comment and I will answer. Personally, for me, in my real life, the winter is my slowest, my least busy part of the year, so I do have time. That's why I'm here in this state. I was invited to come over for our season 1, and I was gifted a castle about a week ago. So here I am, and let's give them hell, guys. Let's have some fun, you know? All right, talk to you later.